The war in West Asia has been expanding. The Gulf's energy heartland is now under fire. Iran has unleashed retaliatory strikes on oil and gas facilities across Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Explosions, fires, and rising global energy fears are now pushing this war into a dangerous new phase.
Israel crossed a red line by attacking Iran's vast South Pars natural gas field. The attack prompted a furious response. Iran retaliated with attacks across the region. Missiles and drones streaked towards some of the most critical energy facilities in the world. Alarms echo across oil terminals and gas plants that power global markets. In Qatar, the impact was severe. Qatar Energy reported extensive damage at the Ras Laffan industrial hub following missile strikes. Large fires broke out across parts of the facility, including major gas processing plants, forcing emergency shutdowns. Ras Laffan is not just another industrial site. It is one of the world's largest liquefied natural gas export centers. The North Field, known as South Pars on the Iranian side, in total contains an estimated 51 trillion cubic meters of gas. Saudi Arabia says a drone crashed into the Samref refinery in the industrial zone of the Red Sea port of Yanbu. This facility is crucial as the overland oil pipeline gives Saudi exports an alternative to the Strait of Hormuz, currently choked off by Iran. Apart from Saudi Arabia and Qatar, drone attacks sparked blazes at Kuwait's Mina Abdullah and Mina Al Ahmadi refineries, which have a combined capacity of 800,000 barrels per day. The attacks sent shockwaves through global energy markets. Oil prices dipped 10%. Brent crude oil spiked to as high as $118 a barrel, up more than 60% since Israel and US started the war with strikes on Iran. US President Donald Trump pledged to completely destroy Iran's South Pars natural gas field, which is the world's largest gas field, if Iran attacks Qatar again. Iranian forces warn that they will destroy Gulf's energy infrastructure if its oil facilities are to be attacked again.
We warn the enemy. You made a big mistake in attacking energy infrastructure in the Islamic Republic of Iran. And our response is ongoing and not over yet. If it's repeated again, the next attacks on the energy infrastructure of you and your allies won't stop until total destruction. And our response will be much harder than tonight's attacks.
Across the Gulf, the message is now unmistakable. This war is no longer confined to military bases and missile sites. It has moved straight into the engines of the global economy, and the flames rising from oil and gas facilities are being watched by the entire world.
As the war drags on, the cost of war keeps rising. The Pentagon is reportedly seeking over $200 billion from the U.S. Congress to fund the ongoing war against Iran. The cost of the conflict has escalated dramatically from initial estimates. The Washington Post, citing an anonymous senior administration official, has reported that the proposed amount would far surpass the cost of the Trump administration's campaign till date. It remains uncertain how much funding the White House will ultimately ask the Congress to approve. As per some officials within the administration, Pentagon's proposal may struggle to gain sufficient support, potentially triggering a major confrontation in the Congress. Meanwhile, public backing for this military campaign remains limited, and Democratic lawmakers have strongly criticized the conflict. Reacting to the Washington Post report, Iran's foreign minister Sayyid Abbas Araghchi has said, and I quote him, "We're only 3 weeks into this war of choice imposed on both Iranians and Americans. These $200 billion are the tip of the iceberg. Ordinary Americans can thank Benjamin Netanyahu and his lackeys in the Congress for the $1 trillion Israel First tax that's about to hit the U.S. economy," unquote. The United States, remember, spent $11.3 billion in just the first week of its military assault on Iran. This figure reportedly covers only the cost of the munitions that were used in the initial strikes. It excludes broader expenses such as troop deployments, logistics, and the ongoing operations. This suggests the total cost is already significantly higher. Now, let's say the addition $200 billion request is approved. Then, the American expenditure on war could exceed more than half of Iran's annual gross domestic product. As per the world meters, Iran's GDP stood at $356.51 billion in 2025. The $11.3 billion spent in the first week alone outweighs the budget of several American government agencies. Now, these include the Environmental Protection Agency at $8.8 billion, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention at $9.2 billion, and the National Cancer Institute at $7.4 billion. The U.S., remember, first attacked Iran in joint operations with Israel on the 28th of February. Since then, strikes and counterstrikes in West Asia have only intensified. Is the West Asia war spiraling tensions on American soil? Unidentified drones reportedly flying over a key military base in Washington, D.C. has raised speculation about a possible surprise Iranian attack. Now, this is no ordinary base. It's located within a 5-kilometer radius of the White House and the Capitol Hill, Fort McNair. It is home to the National Defense University and the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment. And most importantly, top officials, including the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and the Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, reside here. As per reports, multiple drones were spotted flying over this very army base at night over the past 10 days. Unlike other bases, Fort McNair reportedly lacks the same safety buffer. Now, remember, while the origin of these drones remains unclear, reports suggest that a meeting was held at the White House to discuss the situation and consider relocating Hegseth and Rubio. However, neither of them has been moved so far. Meanwhile, Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell has refused to comment on the drones as well as the movement of the top officials for security reasons. This comes in the wake of the U.S. State Department ordering all American diplomatic posts to conduct immediate security assessments, citing potential for spillover effects from the West Asia war. For instance, the CENTCOM headquarters was reportedly put on lockdown twice this week owing to a suspicious package. As per reports, 2 bases in New Jersey and Florida raised their protection level. This amid concerns over the threat of sabotage by Iranian-backed groups on foreign soil. For instance, Kuwait arrested 10 individuals allegedly affiliated with Hezbollah for plotting terror actions against vital infrastructure. Kuwait's Ministry of Interior shared a video of the seized items, including Hezbollah flags, small drones, and photographs of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and Hezbollah's former leader Hassan Nasrallah. On Monday this week, it asserted 16 persons for planning a sabotage plot. In fact, they were arrested on these very charges. Earlier in March, Pakistani national Asif Merchant was convicted of planning to kill prominent American politicians like U.S. President Trump and his predecessor, Joe Biden, at Iran's behest. The U.S. Department of Justice has accused him of trying to recruit people in America as part of this alleged plan in retaliation for Iranian military commander Qasem Soleimani's killing in 2020. While there is no evidence of an organized plot by Iran to carry out violent activities overseas, remember, tensions in the U.S. are rising over the lack of clarity over Trump's endgame and the rising cost of this war. For generations, we have been taught that democracy was born in ancient Greece, a political idea that began in Athens and shaped the modern world. But a new study is now challenging this long-held belief. Researchers say that the roots of democratic practices may go back even further to ancient cities in the Indus Valley and central Mexico. The study, led by scientist Gary Fenman of the Field Museum, analyzed 40% of the ancient societies across 3 continents. The study was focused on how power was shared and how people participated in decision-making. So what is the evidence here? Number 1 is urban design. The findings point to Mohenjo-daro, which is a city that existed more than 4,000 years ago, with its grid-like streets, advanced drainage systems, and lack of palaces or royal tombs. it shows little evidence of a single ruler. Instead, its large public spaces suggest that people may have gathered to discuss and make decisions collectively. The second one is public spaces. A similar pattern is seen in Mexico's ancient Teotihuacan city, which flourished around the 1st century AD. Its massive plazas and shared urban spaces indicate a society where power may have been more distributed rather than controlled by one king. And the third is lack of elite dominance. In these societies, remember, there was little archaeological evidence of extreme wealth concentration or strong rulers, unlike places like China's Anyang civilization, where royal power is very clear. But there are no written records saying that people voted or assemblies passed laws. The evidence is indirect, based on architecture, and the material remains there. Greece may have given us the word democracy and a clear political system, but the idea of sharing power and limiting rulers may have developed in different parts of the world in different ways and much earlier. Our next story is about chess, which is seen as a symbol of strategy and competition. But new research now suggests that in the Middle Ages, the game also served as a powerful space for equality and mutual respect, as this game brought people from different cultures, religions, and backgrounds together. Take a look for more details.
Medieval chess reveals a world of equality and mutual respect. New research from the University of Cambridge shows chess in Middle Ages was a space for equality, where people from different backgrounds could compete as equals. A 13th century text, Libro de Ajedrez, features images of players from Africa, Asia, and West Asia engaging in friendly games. There were illustrations which showed moments where skill mattered more than race or religion, including scenes of Black, Muslim, and Jewish players. Researchers say chess was seen as war without bloodshed, offering a fair and balanced space for intellectual competition. The study concludes that even in a divided medieval society, chess helped bridge cultural differences through strategy and mutual respect.